Hi, thank you for tuning in to SQR Book Review. Remember to subscribe to the page, and if you have already, please remember to share with as many people as you know, just so we can expose the page and encourage this culture of reading amongst the citizens. So this book today that we are going to review is on Zuma's own goal, losing South Africa's war on poverty. It is edited by these guys, Brij Maharaj, Patrick Bond, and Ashwin Desai. These are professors from an institution in Durban. So, in these chapters, they have included various authors, and amongst them are Andries du Toit and Lungisile Nzebeza. The collection of all the essays provided in this book look at how South Africa's government is trying to tackle some of the challenges, including, the economic monetary policy, the virus HIV and AIDS, social security, issues that we have on housing, basic services, and education. So this book, they recommend it, of course, to all the citizens Mzansi, including, journalists, academics, researchers, the policymakers who are deeply interested in the past administration, of course, the future administration of Mzansi. So I'm going to share with you some of the parts of the chapters that caught my attention, and one of them is on the provocations of neoliberalism. The chapter is on page 96, and it was written by Gramsci. Gramsci was the author of this chapter, and he says, "My argument throughout this chapter has been that the challenges confronting the left are far more complex. The drama that exploded at Polokwane was as much about contesting the meaning of the nation and liberation as it was about the fallout from a neoliberal class project and socio-economic structure, and we ignore these sentiments and struggles at our peril. It is useful here to recall Gramsci's warnings about the complexities of grasping the dialectical nexus between organic and conjunctural movements, along with his observation that if error is serious in historiography, historiography, is that like the full word of history? Hey, no, some meanings, guys. Historiography, yes, it becomes still more serious in the art of politics when it is not the reconstruction of past history, but the construction of present and future history which is at stake." And the other section that caught my attention was on black poverty and white property, a chapter authored by Hendricks and Nzebeza. And their view on this is that the central argument of the chapter is that there are structural constraints in the current land reform program in South Africa that make it impossible to make a substantial dent in levels of poverty. So this is what I think. Remember, currently the EFF has won over the campaign of land redistribution. Yeah, so this was just before that occurred. Analysis of the failures of the land reform program have followed a very familiar and well-worn path. The narratives invariably start by mentioning the promises of the democratic government to redistribute 30% of agricultural land And within the first 5 years of democracy, they proceed to demonstrate just how inordinately slow the implementation of this program has been against the backdrop of rising levels of poverty. Yo, these guys are not so easy with these bombastic terminologies. Anyway, we need to move beyond the complaints of government failure in delivering on its election promises. So this chapter seeks to understand the failures within a broader context of the various debates around the land and agrarian questions in Southern Africa, the enduring realities of colonialism and civil society responses to the ongoing crisis of landlessness and poverty. The other section was on that I need to just finish on, because if I go on and on, the book is 432 pages long. I think you can easily finish it in 2 days. Is on the social movement challenges to the institution of accumulation. And Naila Kabir is the author of this. She refers to the task facing those seeking to support poverty reduction in Bangladesh in the following way. She says, the challenge for the future lies in the field of politics as much as in the domain of policy, in creating the capacity of poorer and more vulnerable sections of society to influence those that make policies and hold them accountable. It's definitely an interesting read, and one reason is just that the intense community and labor protests that have been taking over, our country. If you get to go through the book, you have a deeper understanding of, how politics work and what really lies between what they are planning and what they are executing, where the barriers are and challenges are. So I do encourage you to get it, and just have a sound understanding before we make a noise, because some of us, we are very good at doing that. Thank you for tuning in, and remember to recommend any more books that you would like me to review on the page. Thank you. Till next time.